Good morning, everybody. On this Monday morning, the beginning of another week and the beginning of another month. My goodness, this is October already. The year is just flying by. Before you know it, we'll have Halloween, then it'll be Thanksgiving, then it'll be Christmas, and then we'll be into a new year. Well, we are still in that period of hashtag ordinary people, extraordinary God. And as I'm waiting for you to join in with me today, I just want to remind you that we have our anniversary coming up, October 19th, 20th, and 21. It is going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. We are celebrating 23 years. 23 years. This little band of people who loves God has been pushing forward, faith-driven, God-based. Good morning, Carolyn. How are you? Well, in trying to determine what I needed to motivate you about today, and in my talks with God, I was led to talk to you today about judgment. Now, it's kind of a tough word right about now because we're experiencing some difficult times, but judgment means, according to the dictionary, the ability to judge, to make a decision or form an opinion objectively, authoritatively, and wisely, especially in matters affecting action, good sense, and discretion. Now, Matthew, the 7th chapter, the first verse says, "Judge not that you be judged, for the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And with the measure you use it, it will be measured to you." So, in other words, the same standards that you use to judge somebody else will be used to judge you. And it's going to be worse for you if you judge them first without examining yourself. Now, Jesus is not saying not to determine right from wrong or not to form an opinion. But what God is trying to say is you need to use information to form a right and correct judgment that doesn't come from prejudgment or prejudice, as we call it. We have to go through life using discernment so that we don't fall into bad practices or decisions. But we need to use good and sound judgment based on what God has given us as a guideline. Does that make sense? So much in our lives relies on judgment. Our ability to take the knowledge and apply it so that it enhances and moves us forward as individuals, as communities, and as a nation. Good and sound judgment is essential to live one's abundant life with confidence, with fulfillment, and with peace. You know, when we jump to conclusions without obtaining all the facts, or we discount what others say, or we act on a whim, or we fly by the seat of our pants in a situation or in a relationship, we do ourselves and those involved a real disservice. one of the great gifts that God has given us is the ability to reason, to gather information, and then make informed decisions based on good judgment. Face it, in the long run, all anyone wants is to be recognized for their humanity, to be validated, to be affirmed as a human being with dignity and worth. And when we dismiss others' feelings or opinions or push our own as having more worth or value without getting the whole picture, we're not exercising good judgment. And more than likely, we miss an opportunity to learn or even an opportunity to teach. Now, I don't usually use illustrations in my motivations that can be skewed one way or another. I try to allow everyone to have their own feelings, their own opinions. And each one of us has that right. And we have the right to express them, however, without condemnation, without invalidation. But I must say, having said all that, we are currently in a situation in this country where we are immersed in a fight for our very way of life. We as a country are trying to preserve a way of life that has stood the test of time and that for the most part was put in place so that each individual person has the right to be human and to live an abundant, rich life as provided by God. You know, when we allow ourselves to be governed by our own limited, egotistical agendas, we miss the bigger picture and all involved suffer. You know, the way to live using good judgment, especially when we find ourselves in a situation like this he said, she said kind of a situation, is to recognize the humanity involved on all sides. Allow the accuser to have the opinion, the feelings, the outlook that they have, recognizing that they are human and have that right, recognizing their humanity. It's a narrative then that allows for that person to feel and to validate their feeling. When we remove the acrimony from a situation, then the truth and the true core substance can come out. You know, it's hard. It's hard to live like that, especially when we're passionate and we want to push our own thoughts because we believe in them so strongly. But the fact of the matter is, we each have our own right to our feelings. And it doesn't diminish the other side, or it doesn't diminish your opinions and feelings if you acknowledge the other person's. You know, it's in that acknowledgement of humanity that we can come to common ground, that we can solve the problems. So today, look, I'm getting off my soapbox. It's just that what is going on now, it is tearing away at the fabric of who we are as people. When we fail to recognize each other's humanity, we reduce ourselves to our base emotions And we fail to use the gifts that God has given us. That gift, the biggest gift of all, the gift of love, the gift of understanding. Now, I don't mean that we should be doormats. I don't mean that we should, just go along, as Chris says, go along to get along. No, it's not about that. But it is about standing up for something, but also recognizing the other person's humanity. All right, enough said. I'm not saying any more. I want you to go out this day and try and use good judgment. When you have to make a decision, look at all the parts. Look at the bigger picture and make your decision based on moving the situation forward, enhancing life for yourself and for those around you. Matthew 12:36 says, "But I tell you that men will have to account on the day of judgment for every careless word you have spoken." And I think for every careless word, and for every careless thought, and for every careless deed. All of those things that are done without thinking, without using the knowledge to form good judgment and make sound decisions. Go out there, make it a great day. God loves you. God gave you everything you need to make this day fabulous. So go out there and prove it. Do it. Thank you all for joining me, Carolyn and Phyllis and LaDee and all of you who will listen to me later on today. Think about the situation we're in and how you could apply good judgment. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow. Make it a great day. Follow #Team Blair as they're trying to walk. As I understand it, Floyd has hurt his knee or his leg or something, but they're going to be doing the best that they can. And join us, as I said, on October 19th, 20th, and 21st for our anniversary building dedication. We are entering times that are going to try us. Times that are going to be a test of who we are as people and a test of whether or not we recognize whose we are. So I'm asking you, go out there, do your best, make it a great day. Turn on your GPS and kick some butt. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.